I do want to read a piece from your op-ed and dive a little deeper into it. You wrote this: proving a criminal connection to Joe Biden is a difficult, complex task, and it has not been done yet. How would this happen, or how long would this take should it happen? Because GOP members of the Oversight Committee have been looking, investigating for months now and haven't come up with that yet.
And they may not come up with it, but their best shot at coming up with it is to launch an impeachment investigation. Why? Because the courts have ruled that when you're investigating for the purposes of a potential impeachment, you have a right to get documents out of the executive branch that until now the Biden executive branch has denied to Congress. Congress would have a right to go to court under an impeachment investigation and get those documents. But there's a downside to the impeachment investigation. If you're a voter in Iowa or New Mexico or Illinois or wherever, you're not thinking particularly about Washington corruption. You probably think they're all corrupt, and you may not be wrong, but you're thinking, is the economy going well? Are we getting deeper into foreign wars? Are we doing important things, or are we doing them wrong? And if it looks as if all the politicians in Washington want to do is play getcha against the other side, there's a cost to doing that politically. And that, I think, is what Kevin McCarthy and others are particularly concerned about. They don't want to look as if they're simply playing tit for tat, doing what Nancy Pelosi did last time.
I do want to talk about that. Do you think an impeachment inquiry would be a good idea? Because last week, Kevin McCarthy almost danced around the idea, floated it, walked it back a little bit. Some Republicans are for it. I talked to Representative Byron Donalds last week. I asked him the same question. He's for it. What do you think?
I think it's a hard call at this point. I think that what they're doing right now is the right way to lead up to it. They want to get more and more evidence into the public domain that that there are real problems here on the one hand, and on the other, that the executive branch is not being transparent. By the same token, I think that the Republicans, from a purely political calculation point of view, would like to keep Joe Biden in as the potential nominee and likely nominee of the Democrats as long as they can, and then weaken him when the Democrats don't really have alternatives. That's kind of what you saw the Democrats do against Trump. That's why the Access Hollywood tape was revealed right at the last moment. NBC had that tape for a long time. They wanted to sabotage Trump at the last minute when there was almost nothing that could be done in the 2016 campaign to change the nominee or even answer the problem. I think what the optimal position for Republicans is to weaken Biden by next spring. They don't have to act immediately, but they do, as you're suggesting, have to come up with really hard evidence that's easily understood by the public, which has a lot. It's not that the public is stupid, it's that the ordinary people are going to work, they're concerned about their job, they want to make their mortgage payment, they have a lot of other interests, and they they think that the other party is always going to say my opponent is a bad guy or bad woman. So they need to have something that's really persuasive that the country's being sold out in some way.